Jake from State Farm here again. I got some more stuff in the mail. Some stuff I ordered for the rear leaf springs. I figured I'd open them up right now, but I need to. I'm at a crossroads. I have the rear brake lines to make on the rear differential and the brake hose, but I also have the rear suspension that I can't stand, and I have, well, you can't see them. On the other side of the paddle boards is under the car is my leaf springs. And I believe this is, let's just open this up and find out. I believe this is, yep, yes it is. So that is a rear leaf spring shock mount bottom plate. That'd be the other side. I ordered a left and right. Apparently, I gotta order the other one. So I'm gonna have to get with them and tell them they made a mistake, because in the instructions when I ordered this, I ordered a left and right. So now I can't do the suspension. So I guess I could hang it up there and figure out what I'm gonna do. Thousands of new parts. CrazyLights.com. Email him with any quotes I have. Usually the stuff I buy from these folks is 100% right on. So now I don't know what to do. Okay, so back to my dilemma, which this kind of helps my dilemma. Actually kind of hurts it. So the dilemma is, do I do the rear leaf springs in the car and cut the rear end out of it and then make the brake line so I don't have to bleed the rear brakes once? Or do I make the rear brake line, hook up the hose, add the fluid, bleed it, make sure it doesn't leak, and then take it back apart, re-bleed it again in the rear, which I guess is not really that big of a deal, but I really don't want to go do all of that. What I really want to do is take the rear end out and I cut everything off the frame and put it all in one time, because then I can move the rear end back, center it where it's supposed to be in the car, and then switch gears again and measure the drive shaft length, which will be different because I think this rear end is too far forward on the car. So yeah, I don't really know what to do at this point. I do know I like that. I need to know what you guys think I ought to do, direction I should go, because I'm kind of at a dilemma, and I have so many things I could do at once. I don't know which one to do. I'm gonna play with editing. So tell me how you like the editing, because I'm gonna chop this thing up and do a bunch of who knows what. Who knows what's gonna happen? Decisions got to be made. And sometimes they're just really tough to make in life, and this is like a tough one. See you guys later. Jake, as always, from State Farm. Jake, back again. Only I got some lights here because I'm trying to, so I don't look like it's a ghost or dark. You can see me, see my wonderful looking face. But old squinty eye is trying to happen here because of that light right there. Yep, that one right there. Yep. It's getting right in there in that whole. Yeah, anyway, so I sent Crazy Lights, which these guys, the first time they've ever screwed up on an order for me. I've ordered from them, I don't know how many times, because they have really good quality parts. They're reasonably priced, and they ship to me, and they don't take like 6 to 8 weeks to get stuff here. They actually do it priority first class mail, or flat rate or whatever, which gets here in like a week, which is great, because, you know, in fact, they're usually faster than like Amazon, which, you know, we have an Amazon hub here now, so they should be really fast, but they're not. I'll probably get a response back, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, sorry, we'll send you the other one. Just turn one of the ones around and send it back." More than likely, that's what they'll say, because they're pretty good guys. I'm still playing the editing, so I'm going to be chopping stuff out and adding editing, because I'll be real honest with you guys. This is not intended to be a story time thing, but I'm going to kind of wax long in this video instead of actually seeing me work on stuff, but I know you like seeing that because I like having it in the background. I was watching one of my videos. In fact, I was watching the one before this last one you saw with the front brakes. And I've done this several times. I watch every single video. That's how I know if my files get corrupted. But I get really bored watching my own stuff. And I know what's coming up next. I was telling Tim this, I think maybe today or yesterday. And I know stuff has to change, and life changes and things change. I don't really particularly mind change, but I'm not really sure what this channel, how the videos are going to morph. But I need to do something different because I have ADD, and I have, you know, I'm a touch autistic probably. Not 100% diagnosed in that, so I don't know, but at least that's what, you know, I've been told. And so I have a hard time, unless I'm super focused in something, of keeping attention. And which brings up a funny story. I could tell that story. Yeah, I'm gonna tell that story. Okay, so when I was a professor at Boise State teaching automotive technology, some of my students, in fact, I told them all ahead of time that, you know, this is the things you need to know about me. I'm probably not PC. This is like, you know, 10, 11 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I don't mean to offend anybody, and I have a hard time keeping focus. And you might get in the middle of a final or something. I might stop all of you and have you watch some crazy burnout I just found on YouTube or something. You know, some guy in Australia doing some crazy burnouts at like 10,000 RPMs. You never know. I might just interrupt the class, which I did that on occasion, because it helped me keep focus. And sometimes the students would purposely send me off on some tangent, and other students would snap me back in. They would tell the other guys, "Hey, stop, don't say that to him, don't send him out there. We want to learn this, so let's keep him focused." Which, you know, I felt bad for my students, but it was nice that they were really interested. It would encourage me to keep teaching. And so in this same thing, watching the videos, if it won't hold my attention, I really can't expect it to hold anybody else's attention. Here's the real dilemma in this. I'm gonna put my tea down real fast. It's black tea, by the way, with oat milk and maple syrup, slight bit. So here's what I got going on. If I'm 100% transparent in this, I started this channel specifically. I have two channels actually. I started this channel to do with hot rods and old motorcycles and stuff I like to work on, because that's really where my interests are. My heart's really in all that stuff. I really love doing this. It's what I do for a hobby, and it's what I would do if I was infinitely wealthy. I would do this all the time. And I really like teaching people, or, you know, showing the right ways of doing stuff, or the ways I learned from a bunch of the old gray-haired guys that taught me how to do stuff. And I kind of want to like just pass that torch on. But I didn't start this channel with that intention. I started this channel and I started doing this car specifically because of this whole COVID thing, and people not being able to be around and actually come over or whatever or whatnot. And it's kind of turned into, I never expected to have any sort of an audience other than the, you know, handful of people that I knew that I had told that I was doing this, then they actually would watch it. And here it is, you know, there's more people watching this than I know, and kind of blows my mind. When it hit 10 people, I was shocked, and because I didn't know all their names. I was like, let's see, I know Jay's watching, I know the other Jay's watching, I know Cameron's watching, and you know, I could pick like 5 or 6 people out, and that's about all I was expecting to be watching it, because that's what I was making them for. And so here, I'm kind of in a new a new realm, I feel like I have a responsibility to keep it going for entertainment and, possibly not really education, because you don't really want to know how to do something the wrong way, or however that whole adage plays out. But yeah, so I've developed relationships with some of you folks on the side, not just in the comments, but some guys texting back and forth, and heck, every once in a while I get a phone call, and I like it. I enjoy it. I'm really having fun doing this, and so I want to make it more enjoyable for me. Like, if I'm watching it and I have to force to watch it to make sure the editing is right, and I have this cool editing tool, I kind of want to play around a little bit and see about, if I can edit some stuff up and make it more complete. If I start something, I kind of want to complete it in 1 or 2 parts, not 7 or 10, like it took for me to do the inner fender wells on this. But, and then maybe play with like thumbnails or something, where I have like, some witty thing on the title or whatever, or something just to, to cue people in if they really want to watch this one, like, oh, he's doing brake lines again. Let's not watch him suffer on that one. Or, man, he's going to be a sweaty mess in this one. Ew, hide the kids. They don't need to see that. That's gross. Or, maybe he's driving around Hawaii and, hey, let's check it out. He's going to go check out a surf spot in the 57. So if that's kind of what I want to do, is like do the titles a little better and actually put a little time into it and a little effort, if I'm completely honest. So, let me know. I don't really know what to do at this point or what to expect. I wasn't expecting all you folks. And I'm actually I've been apprehensive to do any changes to it, really, because I don't know, like, if it appeals to a broader audience, what that looks like, and I don't want to lose and it probably won't happen. I just don't want to lose, like, the relationships I made with some of you guys, and I don't think, I think friendships probably will handle. I'm probably just being a worrywart about that, and it probably has nothing to do with it, but I really appreciate you guys. I'm having fun, and I want to keep it going. And if people want to watch, and I guess it's only fair to let people watch. That doesn't make any sense. I have to edit that out because that's dumb. Yeah, anyway, I'm really having fun. And I'm really looking forward to playing with my editing software. And the glare off these lights is... I'm going to have to figure that out. How do I not go blind and be able to turn around and look at something in the dark and work on it once my eyes have been dazzled by, 1,000,000 candle power or whatever. But I don't want it to get fake. I don't want this channel to lose. I don't want you guys to think, or me to think, when I watch something to go, that's not really what I meant. Or, I don't really act like that. Or, because now I don't really do any of the editing. I don't really edit much, and you guys see me for what it is. Like, there's no... You can go back and look at the other ones before I even knew how to run videos together, and what you saw is what you got. And I haven't changed any, but I don't want the videos to... Actually, I really don't have any control over what people think. I just want it to be more entertaining. Not funny, but I want to be entertained by my own stuff. Which sounds weird and selfish, but that's the truth. If I'm bored watching these videos, you guys are probably bored watching these videos. And I don't think I'm being responsible making boring videos. I mean, not every video is going to be fun to watch, but I can definitely edit out an hour's worth of just a grinding disc going down. Who wants to listen to grinding the whole time? I can hold the grinder and be like, this here grinder, like this one here. Oh, there goes the light. I'm going to take this grinder and I'm going to go right along this body line, and I'm going to go zzz right here. And then I can put it down, and you saw what I'm going to do and bring it back. Do I actually have to sit there and change the blade and not edit? I think I should edit that stuff out because it kind of bores me watching that. So this video is kind of a rant and kind of a call for help from my internet friends, my gearhead friends out there. I need your help. I need some guidance. I need some pointers. I probably need a nap. Surfing was kind of big today. I took my small board out. I can only play for like an hour and a half. I don't think I'm gonna edit that. I don't think I'm gonna put that in. Anyway, mistake, not mistake. One of these is correct. Clock is a stopwatch is right twice a day. 3 times a day, twice a day probably. Anyway, it's been real. It's been great. If it hasn't been real great, no, it's been real great. Anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all sorts of things. Whatever. Goodbye.